So 3.4 million Americans signed up for Rednote. 3.4 million Americans signed up for Rednote. You had a TikTok ban. They were saying that the communist China, they were sitting there tracking our stuff and propaganda, and they were manipulating the algorithm, and they're trying to influence us, and they're trying to market to us. Oh no, what are we going to do if we're being marketed to? So it's okay to sell the information to some private corporation so they could sell to the American corporation so they could try to fucking market our shit. It's okay for the goddamn NSA to be spying on every one of us, which breaks the Fourth Amendment. But don't criticize Israel and don't talk to each other, right? The TikTok ban has nothing to fucking do with goddamn communist propaganda. The Rednote Rebellion, 3.4 million Americans signed up for Rednote. 3.4 million Americans signed up for Rednote, which is just the English name. It's Mao Zedong's Little Red Notebook, Little Red Book. So instead of somehow indirectly, the Chinese government was indirectly marketing to us, 3.4 million Americans just went ahead and signed up for the app that the Chinese government actually owns or influences, like mostly like 100%. So I think it was an incredible rebellion. It was very smart. It was very intelligent because it's saying fuck you to the government. You want to try to take away our speech. You want to try to take away our platforms. You want to try to take away our right to express ourselves and our right to talk to each other and our right to criticize genocidal fucking theocracies. I think the TikTok ban shows a lot of things. The TikTok ban shows how the U.S. government doesn't really care about free speech and it doesn't care about the right to contract. You know you have a right to contract? Yeah, check it out. It's in the Constitution. Where is it at? Section 10. You have no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, confederation, coin in gold and silver, pass bill of, or no state can pass a law impairing the obligation of contracts. So if I sign up with a TikTok company and I don't, you can put a fake information, right? So they're going to take our fake fucking information and then see where we're posting or what the fuck ever. What can they do with that information? Oh, look at that. You had Sally, she went to the post office, and then she went back home. China can't do shit with that information except for interesting. Well, that's interesting. But the U.S. government could be like, well, what's she doing? She could be the Unabomber, right? They could fucking use a bunch of goddamn... use their imagination to make up a bunch of shit. Free speech is our first freedom, so the right to contract is in there. We're supposed to be a free country. It's not just the First and Second Amendment. We actually got 60 freedoms. We got a bunch of guaranteed freedoms, and they're constitutional. How are we not learning on our freedoms? How are we not quizzing each other on our freedoms? How come we don't respect our own and each other's civil liberties? We're going to have a mass fucking deportation plan, but yet, would you even be able to pass an American civics exam? If you had to pass an American civics exam in order to have the right to vote, could you even do it? I bet you a lot of Americans couldn't even do it. You had that one stat that said Americans can say the three stooges, but they can't say the three branches of government. So the TikTok ban and the subsequent Rednote rebellion, where 3.4 million Americans had signed up for Rednote, I hope we don't unsee what we saw. I hope we don't unlearn what we learned. The Chinese people were very gracious, very nice, and then you were able to connect with people. You saw a lot of things about China. China's doing great. China's doing super great. The Rednote Rebellion, we see how great China's actually doing. They got a futuristic postmodern society. They got sleek skyscrapers. Their city, Shanghai, is absolutely gorgeous. They got brilliant lights, brilliant buildings, high-speed bullet trains are just absolutely fabulous, nice and clean. I hear in fucking New Jersey and New York, it's all one big shit show. You don't have a bunch of fucking homeless people just shitting all over the place. Why? Because in China, there are no homeless people. No homeless people in China. I thought we're the fucking first world country. I thought America is the best, right? We're number one. USA, USA. China has cars that are better. Their technology's better. Their cities are better. Don't unsee that. Don't forget about that. Many Americans are going through a bunch of hardships. A bunch of hardships. Many Americans are hurting. And since many Americans are hurting, we wear our trauma on our faces. We are tired and we are weary and we are yearning to breathe free. We are the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. So there's virtually no homelessness. It's like 0.0018 or some shit in China. So when a person in China loses their job, they pay nothing in rent. Their rent is based on a percentage of their income. So China doesn't fucking throw people out of their damn homes when they lose their fucking jobs. Since their rent is based upon a percentage of their income, if you lose your job, then your rent is free. Healthcare is free. EMS is free. Or for super cheap. They're happy. Your college is $650 a year there. America is a third world country with a Gucci belt. America is a third world country with a Gucci belt. Maybe you could say we're second world or third world. You can't say we're first world. 95% of the Chinese own their own homes. They got over 1 billion people. They got over 1 billion people and none of them are fucking homeless. 95% of them are owning their own homes. Many of them have second or a third home. How many more Americans have to go through the meat grinder? How many more Americans have to get shot or get shot by the police or get shot by the criminals? Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Americans are hanging on a precipice. They're hanging on the edge. They're staring into the abyss. They're hanging on by a thread. Most Americans don't even have $300 in the bank in order to bridge themselves past the mistake. They get sick. They might lose their job. They get arrested over some bullshit. They could lose their job, lose their home, lose their families. They get into an accident. There's a fire. A lot of Americans are just one catastrophe away from absolute, complete ruin. The capitalist class of America has mismanaged society. Police brutality, shootings, homelessness, poverty. Motherfuckers are mean. America is a fading empire. And we're cracking. We are deteriorating under late-stage capitalism. The problem with dog-eat-dog capitalism is that they rely on breaking people's necks. But you can only break so many necks until the entire community has no more necks to break. When there's no more necks to be broken, then what is capitalism going to do? Well, they better bomb another country. They better bomb another country. They better ban somebody. They better, hell, why not just scapegoat? Scapegoat, what, black people, communists, Jewish folks? If you need someone to scapegoat, I'll be your Jewish black communist. I'll be your Huckleberry. It's like when people talk about liberals. There's only 2 people in my lifetime that ever said shit about liberals. Rush Limbaugh's been shitting on liberals my entire life. Even the Democrats are right-wing. So what liberals are you talking? There are no liberals in America. There are no progressives or liberals in America. At least none in our leadership class. None in government. Jimmy Smith said that he was a liberal in West Wing. And then Al Franken said he was a liberal. The Democrats are conservative, the right wing. What's fucking liberal about the genocide? What's liberal about changing nothing? What's liberal about having not even no health care, but not even a public option? What's liberal about a crime bill, about a welfare bill? What's liberal about any of this shit? So I don't want Americans to forget what they saw. China is postmodern. They're not just modern, they're postmodern. They're sleek and futuristic and they're doing awesome. Meanwhile, a lot of Americans are hurting. A lot of Americans, I don't even see how, if you're renting and you got to get a job, so you got some dead-end job where you're making fucking nothing in order to pay fucking landlord, you're just renting out space, and then you're just a goddamn blank before catastrophe. How are you able to fucking make ends meet? How are you able to actually function? The moment that, you know, your car breaks down, the moment that somebody robs you, takes some shit out of your house, sometimes, you know, the moment that you show up late for work, your life is gone. Your life is absolutely ruined. I don't see how it's fucking possible if you're living in a crime-ridden neighborhood. You either have to join the criminals because what you're going to work at McDonald's, so then while you're 8 hours, you leave your house for 8 hours so you could get robbed, and then you come back and then they take your fucking paycheck. Where's the